I had another revelation. Again, I have daily revelations. Every time I get up, I always have something on my mind, or I always start to understand what I didn't know. I know now, and I know what's to come. So I always have those type of daily revelations. But today, I want to talk about Severance, right? And and it reminds me of that show, The Severance. Is on Apple TV. It's a real great show. I think it got 2 seasons. But the show is about people who decided to split their lives apart, right? You got a work life and you got a home life, but neither one know about each other. So on the show Severance, this guy signed up for this surgery where he could keep his work life, and he keep his home life. And they never merged together. So when you go to work, you don't remember what's at home, who at home. If you got a wife, kids, you just know work. So when you leave work, you don't remember what you did at work, what you do at work. You just know that you work, and in your home you got a wife and kids. So they never merged them together. They made them two separate lives. So what made me have this revelation last night, because I started to think about how us as humans can have the same thing, or do have the same thing. Not just two, it could be 3 or 4 different lives, right? And I believe, or 5, 6, or 7. Let me keep going. I believe that sometimes when you have deja vu, that you be living your other life. Let me say that again. I feel like sometimes when you have memories of a deja vu, I've been here before, I did this before, or this look familiar, I believe you was living a separate life. Even in parallel universes, it's the same thing. You living directly, maybe the same life or a different life, but they all match and align with you. But you don't know what none of those lives are doing. But you yourself is in another parallel universe doing this, but doing it different, or doing a different thing. But you yourself may be a fireman, a policeman, this, or a house husband, or, you know what I'm saying, a janitor, a movie star, or whatever. I believe that you live multiple lives at one time, and you never know. So that's what made me think about that, because because I have lived multiple lives, and I think that I brought stuff back from multiple lives, or anything. I started to remember, and I started to remember everything in them other lives slowly but surely, but here and there. But I was about to say same thing with the show Severance. He started to remember different parts of his life before he got separated. So it's the lady who performed the severance on him was a woman who invented it, had quit the job or the company called Lumen because she didn't like what they was doing. So she would try to reintegrate them back to normal, and the guy would have memories of his wife, memories of this, and he didn't understand where was it coming from. Like literally, there was 2 different people in one body living 2 different lives. So I believe people like us, chosen ones especially, live multiple lives. You know, and I believe when they all line up together, that's when I believe you be ultimately great. You start to get riches, you start to get more knowledge, you start to get more understanding, you start to get more wisdom when they all lined up, because they all could be something else. One life you could have been the meanest and baddest criminal ever. Another life you could have been the most righteous, holier than thou. You know, another life You could have been one with nature. You know, so it's like all those play a part of who you are as a chosen one. And I just had to come on and talk about that because that was very interesting to me. Just to even think that or have that night or realize that. I remember I had a situation where one time I was coming from work. This is probably like 2011. No, 2012. I was coming from work. And it was late, so it was dark out and it was in the wintertime. I went in, I came in the house, took my my work gear off, went and got in the shower, and sat in the bed, right? I sat in the bed, but it was an eerie feeling just around this whole atmosphere in my room. I'm just sitting there. So as I'm sitting there, I lay down because I'm tired. I lay down and I turn to the left, like laying on my side on the edge of the bed, on the end of the, this side of the bed. So as I'm laying there, as I want to sleep, I felt somebody sit on the end of the bed, right? But I knew it wasn't a person because I don't know where it came from. I was scared to look over to see what it was, right? Then the person got up, then came and laid and covered their arms around me. And then I woke up that morning, right? It was strange. I was really terrified when I felt it coming towards me, whatever it was. But I came to the realization, I think it was me in the parallel universe. Because where that person sat down at on the end of the bed, that's where I sat at before I got up and came on this side and laid down. That's when I knew we have multiple lives in us, around us, and lived. We are severed from our other lives, parallel universes, and dimensions. See, it took me years to start to understand this. Like I said, I got it 2012. I understand it now. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom come with time. I don't care how smart you is at that time. You cannot know everything because everything takes time to merge. I got the understanding now. Wow. Like, this stuff is amazing to me. You never know who you are until you let yourself go and let God take over. Let God come in. Whoever God you think your God is. Let God come in. So it could nudge and push you towards the way you're supposed to be. God gonna help, but you gotta do your part too. And to be real, to be frank, God do 80%. All you doing is 20%. Severance. Many lives. Well, I just had to come talk about that a little bit. I don't go too deep into stuff. I will start going deep into stuff as I start getting acclimated with my situation in my life because I work and I do all that stuff. But I try to give you at least 10 minutes worth of my revelations daily if I can. So if you like what you hear, comment below. Like, share, subscribe. My YouTube channel is The World Is Not Enough. The link is in my bio. The link is in my bio for the YouTube channel. So just click the link and go ahead and follow.